Hey guys, welcome to Composed with Richard Schreiber, all about mindset, creativity, and the role of a composer. In this episode, I wanted to ask you a question. Are you feeling out of your depth? Or have you ever felt out of your depth when it comes to your creative work, your creative aspirations? I know I have definitely felt like that on numerous occasions. And I wanted to kind of give you a few tips to help with it. And I guess give you not a pat on the back, but like a podcast vlog hug, kind of saying it's okay, dudes, it's okay, it's okay. So let's get into the tips, the things that you can actually action when you're feeling out of your depth or you're feeling overwhelmed with your work. Now, two are slightly different, so I'm going to focus on being out of your depth, because at the end of the day, feeling out of your depth is usually linked to insecurity. You feel like you don't have the goods to deliver what is required. Now, the first thing you need to try and do is this. And this one's a tricky one to actually action, but it's very, very helpful, especially if you start journaling on it. Like the idea that you should not assume that your stuff isn't bad, isn't right. You should not assume that you don't have the goods. You should not assume that your work is, air quotes, failing, close quotes, because the assumption is all based on your experience, your knowledge, your, to an extent, insecurities. It's not based on what the person you're delivering the music is thinking. So, for instance, anyone delivering music to me, if I don't get back to them, I've been on the end of this one, they might start to worry that actually they're not good enough because I haven't replied. Or they might start to worry that they are off brief and I've kicked them off the album or whatever. Then you start to make these dangerous assumptions. It kind of ties in with my previous vlog about being empathetic to other people. Because actually what happens when you feel out of your depth, it's based on your worries. It's not based on other people or based on truth. I say truth with air quotes because, there are many levels of truths. So you should not assume. So a good thing to do, practice journaling the positive outcomes or the positive reasons that you feel out of your depth. For instance, I sent the track off and I haven't heard anything. What are the positive things there? The person on the other end is too busy. The person on the other end loved it so much that they just sent it straight away without even checking with you. The person on the other end is perfectly happy with what you've done, so they're moving on to other work that needs their attention. There are so many positive outcomes to this feeling out of your depth that I just wanted to highlight these. And that's just when you don't assume the negative, you assume the positive. Another thing you can do is just be proactive, i.e., you can, if you're feeling out of your depth, like I don't feel like I can do this, then you need to practice. Just do another one. Do another track. If you're feeling out of your depth because it's an uncomfortable area for you, practice. Do some more. Listen to music that's in that style. Encapsulate yourself with that style and find things that light you up and you can take and you can then push forward in your practice as a composer. I do this when I feel out of depth. I go, well, how can I kind of say this in my own terms whilst also taking the things that are needed for this brief? It's really common. And the imposter syndrome, it seems like a thing that most creative people have. So don't worry about it. We all have it. I have it. I still get a little bit, feel a little bit out of my depth sometimes when I have too much work on because I don't feel like I can stretch myself, but then I just focus on my priorities, sort of make a list, prioritize that according to importance and urgency, and then boom, all of a sudden I feel okay. Or there is something else that's making me feel out of depth that's not related to my work, that's actually related to something else in my life that I'm putting off. And that stress from putting that off is affecting my creativity. Like putting off, even just putting off tidying my garage, right? That kind of sits there. You need to tidy your garage. You need to tidy your garage. You need to tidy your garage. That sits there and creates a little bit of stress, which then kind of brings a little bit more stress in. So any other stressful situations seem magnified because you already have this base level of stress. So the other thing you can do is action other stuff unrelated to your creative life that is stressing you out. Relieve yourself of other stresses that you can relieve yourself of. You would be surprised as to how much that helps. Make you feel more in your depth. And remember that there are no failures when it comes to writing music. There is only progress. You can write another track. You can write another track and another and another and another. You can just keep growing. It's just a lovely thing. You didn't like that last track? Who cares? Send it to someone, see what they think. And you might get feedback that helps you improve it and helps you grow and helps you learn. So, feeling out of depth, try those things. I hope this has helped, and I'll see you next time.